What is something that was affordable 10 years ago, and thankfully is still affordable today? A lot more than what your typical Redditor realizes or acknowledges. Housing is still very affordable in large geographic regions of the US. Groceries are still affordable relative to inflation and historical norms. Many things which used to be considered luxuries are now owned by people at the lowest income rings of society. Far too many people have come to believe that they are still living in 2005 and should only be paying whatever prices existed back then. That's not how it works. Compared to history, the average person today can afford far more than they ever did in the past. Generic or budget brand clothing. You can easily pick up things like t-shirts for $5, shoes and jeans for $15, 3-pack of underwear for $10, etc. They're not the finest items in the world, but they get the job done for cheap. They look perfectly fine for a simple style, and last quite a while. The shoes can be a bit dicey, but I've gotten good use out of some of them. Buying new clothing from places like Walmart is usually cheaper than thrift shopping nowadays, but that's also because thrifting has gone dummy mode. Gasoline. For as much as people complain about gas specifically and not any of the other things skyrocketing in price for some reason, it really hasn't increased in price at all, maybe even gone down when inflation adjusted. I have to get 91 octane for my car and it's like $3 gallon, which seems like exactly where it was 10 years ago. I'm in Outburger in California. Prices have gone up slightly over the years, but a double-double is still $4.50. They must have a golden supply chain, and since they do the volume, I'm sure no uptick in labor costs really hurts much. TVs. We saved 16 years ago to buy a 32-inch for $300. 5 years later we upgraded to a 48-inch for $300. I was watching Julia About Julia Child on HBO, and in the first episode, she bought a TV for $300. My phone bill. I paid $80 for unlimited talk, text and 1 GB of data on Verizon in 2012, and pay the same now for unlimited talk, text, data, Apple Music, and unlimited 5G UWB hotspot. Still on Verizon. I'm a transit nerd and looked at how many hours you have to work at minimum wage to afford a monthly transit pass in my city. It has stayed almost the same for the past 25 years. About 6.5 hours. I've noticed Walmart clothing has never really gone up in price. Watching old videos of people shopping there from the 90s, and a shirt was still like $4 today for essentially the same shit. Viennetta. We only had it at Christmas time when I was a kid as an alternative to Christmas pudding. It's still only £1.50 in Tesco, and I'm almost sure Lidl sometimes have it for £1. Video games. The price of video games, when accounted for inflation, have actually gone down. That's not even including the many indie games that are sold for $20 or $30. Libraries in Ireland. Over the years they got rid of late fees, introduced digital services, ebooks, audiobooks, and always have lovely buildings and staff. Internet. I'm thankful sponsors, partners of internet companies get paid through online ads, so ISPs need to make the internet as accessible as possible. State inspection. Honda guy referred to it as a loss leader. With a digital coupon, I only paid $8 more than I had back in the 80s. Texas Roadhouse had seemed to not gone the way of raising their prices very much compared to every restaurant in existence. Blowjobs from the local lot lizards and prostitutes. Still just $40 where I'm from, and I remember paying that at 16. Too. Maybe not thankfully, but potato chips and sugary fizzy drinks have actually gone down in price over the past 10 years. Computers in general, they're about the same price they were 10 years ago, which is a lot cheaper with inflation. Entertainment and luxuries. Our food are extremely cheap still. It's just rent and houses ruining everything. Eggs, despite a few price blips here and there, even then, they are a bargain and wonderful. Live crawfish prices haven't really changed at all here in New Orleans over the last 10 years. 10 years ago, my local rock gym cost $20 a day for non-members. Now it only costs $25. Movie theater popcorn. It's affordable, but I never buy it because it's too expensive. Cabbages. In Toronto you can still buy a nice, big, fat cabbage for $2.99. Amazing. Video games, only recently started creeping up after 30 years of steady prices. Costco Caesar dressing. Don't know how they make it so damn cheap, but it's amazing. Most cheeses have increased, but are still affordable if you look for sales. Video game pricing hasn't fluctuated much in the last 20 years. Spotify. It's still the best deal in all of streaming. Those $1 packages of peanut butter cups at Trader Joe's. The price of air. It's still free but of worse quality. Digital storage space has gotten a lot cheaper per gig. Healthcare. In Europe, does not apply in America. Weed, it's actually gotten much cheaper as I've aged.